A rising equity curve is one of the most expensive pictures in trading. It can make a weak idea feel finished, but this line is not a strategy, and it is not a verdict. Before we ask whether the idea is robust, we need to reconstruct what this curve actually contains. The baseline backtest is the first frozen measurement. Frozen means the trading rule, its settings, the development data window, position sizing, and ordinary costs are decided before the result is read. Development data is the historical period you are allowed to use while forming the idea. In this first replay, nothing is optimized, delayed, shuffled, or stress-tested. Nothing changes on purpose. Now the market bars print from left to right. When the frozen rule sees its condition, it marks a signal. The backtest converts that signal into an entry fill at the execution price and applies position size, then waits for the declared exit. Each closed position becomes one trade in the ledger, where ordinary round-trip costs are applied. A return number without its fills, costs, and exits is not a backtest you can audit. Add those trade results in time order and you get the equity curve, cumulative profit and loss. Under it sits drawdown, the distance below the curve's previous high. Drawdown tells you how much pain arrived before recovery, or whether recovery arrived at all. We also need activity and concentration. 3 trades do not carry the same evidence as 300, and a strategy carried by one extraordinary winner differs from one supported across many trades. Watch one frozen directional bar idea go through the reconstruction. The bars do not know which result we want. A signal either appears or it does not. Each fill enters the ledger. Each closed trade moves equity. Each new high resets drawdown to 0. Each loss opens it again. For a temporary inspection lens, remove the largest winner while preserving the official baseline. If the curve collapses, the headline result was concentrated. Restore it. The baseline remains unchanged. Our interpretation becomes more cautious. Replace, did it make money, with a better question, what kind of evidence produced that money? A baseline can fail 3 ways. It can simply lose money after ordinary costs. It can make money through a path whose drawdown is too deep for the return. Or it can look profitable while trading too rarely, or depending too heavily on a small part of the sample to support a serious next step. A cleaner, more active curve does not become robust. It becomes a defined reference that later tests can attack without moving the goalposts. This first screen should be allowed to say no. In one recorded Dow intake, 1,335 candidates entered and 184 survived the baseline screen. That ratio belongs to this run. It is neither a universal target nor future profit evidence. Early measurement has a job. Weak ideas should die before we spend time inventing excuses for them. The common misuse happens after the curve appears. Move the stop, change the exit, remove the ugly year, add a filter, rerun, repeat until green. At that point, the baseline is no longer a frozen measurement. It is the winner of a search conducted on the same history. Research on data snooping and backtest overfitting exists because a lucky winner can look like discovery when the rejected trials are hidden. So the baseline asks one narrow question. Does this frozen idea work at all on the data where it was developed? Failure means stop. Survival means we now have a trade ledger, an equity path, a drawdown record, and a fixed reference. It does not mean robust, approved, or ready to trade. Next, we carry the same unchanged strategy across a one-way seam into data it did not learn from. Survival earns more attacks, not trust.